teenangst.png. Go to private school that only accepts high intelligence students. So no tards. Winning.gif. Be first year of high school. All students pre-12th get transferred to a new building. Be chilling in the halls with the boys, codenamed Lobster and Hawk. Having a conversation about how Mantis has been trying to hit up Stacy number 43 over the summer. Mantis is important, eventually. Suddenly, Hawk starts coughing violently. Starting to tend to him when it hits us. The fucking stench. Look to the entrance and witness the nightmare of Anons everywhere. A horde of 10 to 20 tards, ranging from mild autists to the worst downies imaginable, being marched down the halls by students. One student catches my eye immediately. Short, red hair, glasses, and the body of a fucking MILF. Why the fuck is my girlfriend, currently fiancé, helping the goddamn tards? She flashes an "I love you" hand signal at me. Managed to force one back while nearly vomiting from the smell of shit and piss, and probably semen, coming from the tards. She's also very important later. Retreat.jpg. Find an empty storage closet to hide in. This will become our official hideout from now on. Immediately begin to plot on how to get rid of the tards. We devise a plan in case of tard violence. Now we wait. The Shadow Saga Part 2, Origins. First half of the day is calm. At lunch, was skipping class with Lobster to get supplies for my little idea. The tards are sitting and talking with other students. One fat neckbeard tard, codenamed Jabba, was chilling with the Stacys. This fucker reaches over and begins groping the Stacy that Mantis was trying to fuck. Stacy pushes Jabba away. This triggers the first instance of a tard mob, in which all tards in a close distance would begin losing their shit. All hell breaks loose. Helpless people run from the tards, while Jabba tells them to fling shit, flip tables, and cause a riot. During the chaos, I slipped into a shitty old trench coat, leather gloves, and a ski mask. For you C readers, this building had no functioning cameras yet, so being caught changing was impossible. Begin to rush at the horde of tards. I'm 6'3" and muscular at the time, so I bulldoze 3 tards the second I make contact with them. All turn their attention towards me. Begin fucking up the tards' day, slowly making my way to Jabba. Teachers and wranglers, useless to stop my rampage. Finally get to Jabba. He starts fucking rushing at me in an attempt to crush me. Sidestep and he flies into a wall. Grab him by the collar of his MLP shirt. Begin punching him with all my rage. No remorse.png. His face looks also abnormal when drenched in his own blood. Stuff a folded note into his shirt pocket. Throw him on the floor and run like a nignog stealing shoes. Retreat to storage closet. Change out of outfit and hide it in the removable panels that make up the ceiling. Return to lunchroom from normal entrance and gawk as teachers surround the unconscious tards and remove the note from his shirt. A teacher leaves with the note and makes an announcement over the speaker about catching the culprit. She then posted a photo of the note to the school's website, in hopes of getting info. I feel autistic writing this, but whatever. Let this be a lesson to you autists, downies, aspies, and the like. Any and all acts of violence will have you punished in a most violent way. Let this tard speak of the lengths I am willing to go for my cause. Sincerely, The Shadow. If only the fuckers had listened. The Shadow Saga 2, Part 1, Retaliation. Be me, The Shadow. 3 months since last chapter. Very little tard activity. Jabba was gone for a month, and he came back with heavy scarring and a few missing teeth. He's spooked as fuck now. He occasionally falls to the floor and screams about, "They said they're gonna get me." His parents were pissed as fuck, threatening to sue the school. But the school apparently paid his hospital bills, so they mellowed out. The Shadow is now feared by most kids at school. No one associates with the tards, in fear of having their faces ripped off or something. Teachers have stopped searching for the Shadow at this point. Time to strike.mp4. Leave class to take a shit. Open bathroom door to erect bathroom, and tards losing their shit. This deserves some punishment. Immediately run to the storage closet, which was just around the corner. I suit up, quickly make another note, and head back to the bathroom. ripandtear.png. Open the bathroom and tell in a shitty Solid Snake impression, "I thought I warned you tards not to do this shit." Tards immediately lose shit. Tard rushes at me. Go fucking rage mode and start wrecking tard shit. Tards are thrown against walls, getting their guts obliterated by my knee, and having their faces slammed between stalls. Feel like the fucking Doom guy. One of the tards was an Espy, with the speed of 1,000 Nignogs and the body of a stick bug. Let's call him Sanic. He's putting up a pretty good fight, even landing a few hits on me. Do an autistic Zenkai boost thong, and go into a full tard-like rage. If you do anything like this again, you had best be prepared for a world of pain, the likes of which has not been seen before. Sanic passes out and slumps to the floor with the rest of his kind. The Shadow Saga Part 2 retaliation continued. Hear stirrings in the stalls, slam fists on the stalls. Little jock dude steps out, sees me, and starts begging for me not to beat him up. All of my what.jpg. Explain how I won't harm innocent students. Thanks me and says he'll cover for me. Drops the note on Sanic's head and runs back to the closet to change. Changes, cleans up gloves, rushes back to class. Lemur to fat lesbian teacher and finish up the day. Go on a sick movie date with GF, codename Sun-chan, and enjoy my weekend. The Shadow Saga Part 3, At Hell's Gate. Be me, the Shadow. 2 weeks after the bathroom brawl, the Shadow is now something of an urban myth to help calm the fear of tards. GF not pleased with the Shadow's actions. GF starts a small club of people who want to figure out who the Shadow is. Join as a co-founder. EvilLaughter.jpg. Be 2 months after the bathroom brawl. Silence from the tards. This always happens before something bad. Suspicious.png. Get an email from GF saying we've got to go to Tard HQ to warn them about how the Shadow is dangerous. Go along with it and start concocting a plan. Next day. Said I had to be out sick that day. Roll into school with Shadow outfit and bolt for Tard HQ with a few special surprises. The second I get there, I start looking for unsupervised rooms of tards, growing angrier and angrier with every room. Hear door open behind me. Lunge and roll to a nearby storage closet. The closet is full of tard snacks. Carrots, crackers, baby tomatoes. Pull out a few pills of melatonin and some powderized laxatives and start mixing it with the carrots and bottles of water. Somebody's poisoned the waterhole.mp4. Peek into the hall to see GF walking around with 8 out of 10 Latino Wrangler. Realize her tards must be unattended. Target acquired. The Shadow Saga Part 4. The Massacre at Fort Retard. Be me, the Shadow, sneaking around Tard HQ, looking for an unsupervised Tard classroom. I hear distant sounds of war from behind one of the classroom doors. Throw that shit wide open. 30 to 40 of the worst-smelling Downies you'll ever meet are having a war using shit as projectiles. The once white walls are now a disgusting black/brown color. Remember, school staff only said there were 15 or 20 of them. Get fucking pissed. I believe on that day, I tapped into a form of tard rage better suited for intelligent life forms. I rush the tards and start what came to be called the potato peeling of XX. Gotta keep year hidden. One anorexic-looking tard, called Mini-Tard, attempted to start punching me in the back with little effect. Grab the back of Mini-Tard's head and start slamming it against the wall. Once Mini-Tard is passed out, I use his limp body to bludgeon 3 more tards, and after that, I throw the tard at a cluster of fat-ass tards, KOing them all at once. Continue to fight for ages, relishing every punch and KO. After about 30 minutes, I've defeated every opponent in that room. Drop a note and head for the door. Exit room and see GF, Latino Wrangler, and the fucking principal at the end of the hallway. Run in the opposite direction, they make chase. They're fucking gaining on me. Gotta go fast.jpg. Find a window. Without thinking, I launch myself into the window, shattering it and leaving me in the parking lot. Take a second to process what I just did, and start running again. Run all the way back home, change, hop on my Wii, play me some Super Smash Bros. Brawl. King Dedede is the best, and no one can change my mind. Get texts from Lobster, saying what the Shadow did, and congratulating me on not getting caught. We meet up later at a burger joint to plan out the next raid on Tard HQ. No good ideas. Agree not to try something that risky ever again. Head home and study like a good boy, and end my day like any other. The Shadow Saga Part 5. Identified? Be me. Normal, everyday high schooler. JK, be the Shadow. Day after the potato peeling of XX. Mantis approaches me and pulls me aside. He explains that he's figured out that I'm the Shadow, and he wants to help by being the Shadow when I can't be. We have a similar build and height, so he could definitely pass as the Shadow. Give him the okay and tell him the moral code he must abide by in order to be the Shadow. Go through day normally. Be 2 months after potato peeling. Be studying in library with GF. Hear kids yelling in the hall. They're all pointing at the bathroom and yelling about how they just saw the Shadow. Suddenly, Mantis rushes from the bathroom and bolts down the stairs. He's way faster than me, so I know he won't get caught. He's managed to wreck 3 neckbeard tards. Not bad.gif. Congratulate and go on with day. The Shadow Saga Part 6. The beginning of the end. Be me, the Shadow. The day after Mantis covered for me and gave me an alibi. We're all called into the gym for an assembly. Libtard principal goes on and on about how her sweet little angels are being menaced by this terrorist. My face when I'm a terrorist now. Principal explains that she has removed all victims of my rampages from the integration program due to legal concerns, literally giving the Shadow what he wants. At the end of the announcement, she introduces a new tard to the school. Good fucking God. 6'8", built like the Hulk, horribly deformed, not uncommon, followed by 5 wranglers. Bastard should be kept in chains like King Kong. I start to worry. This Bane-looking motherfucker could beat the shit out of me easily. Later that day, Mantis shows up at my door, looking like a war veteran. He explains how the Tard, classified as Hyper Gigatard by my peers, beat the shit out of him when he was doing his run as the Shadow. Vow to destroy this rival alpha, no matter the cost. The Shadow Saga Part 7. The final boss and the end. Be me, the Shadow. 3 weeks before summer. Have had multiple smaller Tard scuffles, but nothing super interesting. 13 more Tards have left due to the Shadow rampages. Continue to help GF find the Shadow. Teachers support what we're doing, no one suspects a thing. Hyper Gigatard is oddly quiet, likes keeping to himself, never really gets upset. He doesn't even smell that bad. What the fuck.exe. Been training at the gym extra hard in preparation for my inevitable fight with HGT. Look like a Chad now. It's time, boys. Friday before exams, it happens. I don't know what happened, but it happened. HGT loses his shit. Starts rampaging in the halls like a movie monster. Change into the Shadow. Have a belt for protection. Confront HGT. He starts lumbering towards me. He wasn't very fast. Rush at him and slam into him with the full force of my body. He falls with the force of both the twin towers. Kids are now crowding around us. Get on top of him, start pummeling his face. He snaps out of his daze, grabs me and tosses me off of him. He's in pretty bad shape already, so I start preparing the belt. Keep my distance and take a defensive stance. HGT reaches out to grab me. Whip him in the arm with the metal side of the belt. He starts to bleed. He screams in pain, creating an opening for attack. Get behind him and start strangling him with the belt. Get him against a wall, buckle the belt as tightly as I could around his neck and force him to the ground. Continuously curb stomp him until he passes out. Remove belt and run for dear life. Teachers are chasing me now. Get the fuck out of there and hide in the forest. Find a specific bush with a change of clothes and a plastic bag. Change. Put outfit in bag to retrieve later. Sneak back into school and slip into crowd looking at HGT being hauled off in an ambulance. Tard integration is cancelled due to multiple violent incidents involving Tards. Finish exams, go home for the summer, hide outfit in a locked box in my mother's attic. It's still in that box to this very day. The end. The Tard and the Leaf Blower. I'm on mobile, so bear with any formatting issues. I did this post in r/TardTales2 originally, but it was a short version in there. This is the extended version, and this happened while I was in high school. Keep in mind that I grew up in the Southeast, where etiquette and good manners is sort of the end-all be-all. Basically, you're not allowed to make fun of anyone for whatever reason, no excuses type of bullshit. Also keep in mind that incest is a bit of a stereotype in this part of the country. It doesn't happen often, but when it happens, it's really bad. On with the story. This happened in my senior year. I was helping out with some maintenance on the baseball diamond, and was given a leaf blower for my part. They let the Tards out on the diamond to do physical activities. As I'm prepping the gas leaf blower, the king of all Tards walks up to me. Not only was he incest, not only did he have too many chromosomes to count, not only was he autistic, he was also brain damaged too. Basically, he was a human version of the car in Season 1 of Better Call Saul that Saul drove. King Tard comes up to me and starts speaking to me in Tard language about how cute kittens are or something like that. Memory doesn't exactly serve here. Of course, I'm trying not to upset him because the special needs teacher was a special kind of bitch, so I start going along with it. Yeah, kittens are cute, aren't they? I pull the leaf blower. He immediately freezes. I've also heard through the grapevine that the King Tard loves playing tag. His face was so fucked up I didn't realize the look he was giving me was a look of terror. Important later. I rev up the leaf blower. He leans like he's going to run, but he doesn't. I rev it up some more. He does the same thing, some more. And then I begin the chase. This spud begins flailing his arms above his head, and making a screeching/whooping sound that can only be compared to a retarded Goofy being kicked down a well. I chase him around for a solid 15 minutes until the leaf blower runs out of gas. I get yelled at by the special needs teacher. Totally worth it though. Fast forward 6 years later, he sends me a friend request on Facebook and starts spurging out on me, calling me a bully and shit. Of course, I'm very confused. His little sister, that is actually normal, not incest, and a little bit cute, begins to explain what King Tard's bio dad would do to him is chase him around the yard with a leaf blower because he was terrified of them. The bio dad, of course, claimed it was for discipline. Anyone who knew the guy would know different. Do I feel guilty about this? Maybe a little bit. Is it a hilarious story about incest Tards from the Deep South? Absolutely it is, or so I'm told. The Tale of the Screecher. Be me. Be at ultra-libtard school with multiple Tards. Be the bathroom kid who encountered Taz. As I've said before, I somehow tend to be point blank for all tarded activities. Be me. Earlier in the year, before the Taz incident, there are many Tards on the loose in our school. Most are harmless, but there are two who you must be wary of. Taz the Downy, who will ruin your career and crush your self-esteem by calling you gay. And the one this tale is about, the Screecher. To be honest, I don't think anyone knows this one's name, because the Wranglers never let her leave Tard HQ. I think the best way to describe this Tardette would be the witch from Left 4 Dead 2. I say this because the thing walks around with its hands over its face, almost always crying, and if anyone touches it, the thing shrieks so loud it breaks the sound barrier. This Tardette would put Black Canary to shame. One day, I'm waiting in lunch line with some pals, talking to them. At this point, I am unaware of the Screecher's existence because the tamers kept that thing locked away. Unbeknownst to me, the Screecher was right behind me. Impending doom begins. Mid-conversation, I hear the loudest Godzilla roar that has ever been uttered. I legit thought the zombie apocalypse was beginning. I shit you not, I later found out that day that people on the first and third floor had heard this shit. This was ear-shattering for anyone in the lunchroom, but I was in the blast zone. A straight-up, point-blank, earth-shattering shriek right in my ear. Fuck my life.jpg. My ears were still ringing, so I couldn't hear what was going on. But quickly, 3 more Tard guards rushed in and dragged the Screecher away. The thing was kicking and crying and rolling on the ground like a snake that had just been captured. Speechless. My ear went back to normal after 3 days. 3 whole fucking days. This was my introduction to the Screecher, Tyrannosaur of Tards.
Beatles my meatles.
The Legend of Toad the Tard. Be me, high-functioning Aspie autist. Genius in the classroom, but slow socially and have limited interests. Finally old enough to become fully independent from my parents. Have my own house, own my own car, not a wage slave. Feels good man.jpg. Go out to dinner one night. Get a booth right next to a window facing the street. Important later. Order a sandwich. Tendyresistance.exe successfully overclocked. While I wait for my order, I pull out my phone and play Mario Kart Tour. Sound is on, but only at low volume, so as not to disturb the other patrons. Enter a 250-pound Tard and a Karen. Tard seems to have trisomy 21, be around the same age as yours truly, is short as shit, but not a midget Tard, and smells as if he shit himself before he even arrived. Nearly ruined my appetite. He's wearing a red tank top, blue denim shorts, and is completely bald. Kinda looks like Toad from Super Mario. Will from now on be referred to as Toad the Tard, Toad for short. Karen's face looks empty and dull, as if she's had enough with the world entirely. Still tries to smile. I put my phone away, not wanting it to be covered in Toad's greasy Tard hands. God only knows where they've been. They pass me and sit in the booth directly behind me. I can feel myself being lifted slightly from the sheer force of the Downey's fat ass plopping onto the bench. Bench is now covered in shit. As an Aspie, hating Tards comes naturally, since I worked my ass off to become a functioning member of society. They haven't. Thinking I'm in the clear, I resume playing Mario Kart Tour. I'm about to finish a race when suddenly, Toad the Tard jumps up from his seat and quickly waddles to my side. His overly sensitive ears must have heard my game. He speaks for the first time.
Hey, what game are you play?
Ow, my ears.gif. Try to respond as chill as possible. This is Mario Kart Tour.
Can I play? I want to turn!
Screams the Downey. Everyone in the aisle of the restaurant stops and looks at us now. Bruh, this fat, bald bastard, I see what you did there, thinks he rightfully deserves to play my personal game on my own fucking phone. Don't tread on me.tiff. I lock my phone and place it on the table near the window. Sorry, there's no multiplayer in this game. Toad isn't having it. He literally tries to climb onto my seat and reaches over my body towards my phone. Almost knocks over my drink. Karen doesn't do shit to stop her abomination of a son from trying to steal my private property.
Let me play Mario Kart!
Tard's stank sweat is now dripping onto me. I push the little shit off of me. He lands on the floor, starts crying. Karen gets up and waddles over to me. Did you just assault my son? How could you hurt my baby, you fucking dick? Don't you know he's special? I stand my ground, tell her that her baby violated my personal space, and I merely defended myself. Another customer comes to my side, says Toad attacked me first. Karen ignores us, picks up her son, kisses his cheek, and wipes his tears. Acts like nothing just happened in the last 5 minutes. Don't worry, baby. Let's sit down and I'll get you some tendies.
Okay, Mommy.
They sit back down, my face when he's not punished. I go to the bathroom and wash my hands. Epsom soap dispenser is empty. Replace soap cartridge now? Yes or no? No. Exit bathroom. Avoid Toad the Tard by taking a rear exit. Run back to my car. Find my hand sanitizer. Empty half of the bottle. Scrub-a-dub-dub.rar. My face when my hands are burning and skin is being removed because a Tard committed battery against me. I return to the restaurant, just in time to see an 8 out of 10 waitress trying to take Toad the Tard's order. Karen acts as his interpreter.
On the child's menu, my son will have 1 order of chicken tenders and a side of fries, with extra dipping sauce,
spoke Karen. Karen doesn't order anything. 8 out of 10 waitress says,
It's gonna be an extra wait on the tenders, since we need to start a fresh batch.
Toad realizes he has to wait longer for his tendies. Tard rage meter 45%.
Tendies, no!
Tard bouncing up and down in his seat, flailing his arms. I can physically feel my own seat tremble from the power of his Tard strength. I pray that I am not on the receiving end of said Tard strength. Karen tries her darndest to calm down her abomination of a son. If Chad had still been around, he'd have this bastard silent in a heartbeat.
Now, honey, if you be extra patient, I'll let you have 2 orders of tendies.
Toad calms down and says, in a hushed voice,
Okay, Mummy.
So much for the childhood obesity epidemic. As soon as 8 out of 10 leaves, my sandwich arrives. ourfather.mp3. It came with a side of fries, no Chippo, not Britfag. Decide to add salt to my meal. Hands still wet from the hand sanitizer, I drop the salt shaker and spill some on the table. Whoops.zip. Pick up the shaker and, as superstition goes, throw some salt over my left shoulder. Unfortunately, some salt lands on Toad's shoulder. He feels it. Tard rage meter 75%. Toad picks up the salt shaker from his own table, turns around, and nails me in the back of the head. Broken glass.wave. I'm bleeding like a soldier in Nam. Salt makes my wound more painful and sensitive. Decide to overreact and draw attention to myself. That'll show Karen to raise her angel right.
Ugh! That kid just threw a salt shaker at me. I've got glass in my head. It hurts like hell.
Restaurant staff call an ambulance for me because I'm bleeding. I walk outside to the parking lot. Karen still doesn't do shit. Wait for paramedics to arrive. 8 out of 10 brings me my meal to try and ease the pain. Start to feel a bit better. Nom nom on sandwich. Realize I left my phone on the table inside. Oh shit nigger.jpg. Out of the blue, the sound of a shattering glass window could be heard all throughout the parking lot, much louder than the salt shaker. Turn around. See Toad the Tard in all of his glory, plowing right through the window and rolling down the glass hill. He has my phone in hand. Tard rage meter 113%. His rolling stops right before the curb so he isn't ran over. Disappoint. He is unconscious. The sight of the Tard approaching the road causes cars on the street to swerve out of the way. He causes a major collision. Trafficjam.mpeg. Ambulance gets delayed. Walk up to the Tard and grab my phone from his moist, clammy hands. It was in an OtterBox case, so it didn't break. Find out that he shit himself, again. In too much pain to think about taking a pic. Call police. Arrive before paramedics. Explain what happened. Police drive me to the ER, press charges. Karen is fully enraged, saying I was at fault for harassing her precious special needs child. Too busy with work to testify in court, so I gave a sworn statement. Security footage from the restaurant is provided, showing that Toad clearly attacked me first, threw the salt shaker at me, jumped into my seat while I was gone, stole my phone, and dove through the window. Why he didn't just go back to his seat, I have no fucking idea. Toad the Tard is convicted as an adult of aggravated assault, attempted theft, and vandalism. He's sentenced to 1 year in state prison. Never got his tendies. Karen is ordered by the court to pay for both my medical expenses and restaurant bill. I'm traumatized by the incident. Too scared to go out to restaurants anymore. Go back to eating tendies. My face when? The Ghost Story. Be me, 19, living with friend and family. Friend's stepdad has an adopted daughter. She's Haitian and a tard. Looks like pick related. She can only communicate with moans, so we call her the Ghost. .jpg. Lots of issues, super scary. Possesses the ultimate tard rage when provoked. This never really bothered me except when she'd see me and start moaning at me repeatedly. For example, Arby's for dinner. Get stuck sitting next to the Ghost. Fuck me.png. Trying to pretend I'm not disgusted by this monstrosity. Friend can totally see it on my face, is trying not to lose it. Suddenly, she starts looking at me and viciously making moans. Very menacing. Not sure what to do. Too scared to talk to her. I don't acknowledge her, so she grabs my food and punches me with it out of anger. Throws hands like Mike fucking Tyson. Hurts like a bitch. Can't do anything because she's a fucking tard. Take it like a bitch and go back to my room to play video games. Shortly after moving in, watching TV with friend and family, Ghost starts letting loose moans like we're in Luigi's Mansion or some shit. Tard Wrangler, should have mentioned this, but she's always here when the Ghost is, assumes this means that she has to use the bathroom. Well in bathroom, Tard Wrangler gets a phone call. Asks friend's stepdad to take over. 30 seconds into Tard Wrangler walking outside, we start to hear a loud banging. No one bats an eye. Assuming everything's alright. After about 10 minutes, everyone's doing something and it's just me on the couch. I gotta pee. I go to the bathroom and knock on the door. No answer. Going in. What I see next will haunt me forever. Stepdad knocked out on floor, bleeding pretty bad. Shit everywhere, smeared on walls, floors, toilet. Can tell she did it with her hands. A chunk of porcelain broken out of the toilet. And then there's the Ghost. Passed out from exhaustion in the shower, sucking on her own period pad. Not my fucking problem.gif. Fetch Tard Wrangler. Ghost disappears for a week or two. Ghost is back, tardier than ever. Apparently she's been getting in fights with the other tards. Has to wear padded headgear and MMA gloves at all times for protection. It's a bad day for the Ghost. On timeout for fighting. Everything is fine for the first hour. She's moaning a bit, but nothing too intense. Then, as she's handed dinner, she fucking snaps. Smashes plate on table, grabs shard of it, ninja tard time. Jumps at friend's little sister. Hits her pretty hard, not with shard. Tard Wrangler jumps in. Ghost stabs her in the leg with a shard. Tard Wrangler down. 30 minutes of freak out later, the Ghost is contained in a room. She's still freaking out and no one knows what to do. Mom asks if we can call someone. Stepdad says, who you gonna call? Pick related. Story 1. Light bulbs, ladders, and chromosome. Senior year of high school. Excited to graduate and get the fuck out of there. One of the new freshmen is an absolute Irish potato. Like full-on Downey. Violent as shit, and can only speak coherently when he takes his medication. He didn't bother me or my friends until halfway through the second quarter. I was walking down the hallway with my friends when we see him sitting in the middle of the hall, drooling like a coochie, and babbling in tard speak. Libfag Tard Wrangler comes up the stairs calling his name. Logan! Oh, Logan, sweetie! Logan hears her, screeches, crawls towards us like Grudge from the Ring. Pushes past us, knocking my buddy over into a cute girl, and my other friend into a door handle. He's bleeding from a large gash above his eye. Everyone is screaming. Friend tries to shake off his head injury, and staggers after Logan. Tackles him before he can reach the stairs. Wrangler runs over to him, and reprimands him for attacking him. Spouts some libtard bullshit like, you can't do that to him, he's not like us. You need to treat him like a normal person. Friend gets suspended. Logan has no consequences whatsoever. The week following the incident, school spends its budget on fancy new lighting systems. The sweaty Mexican wage cucks work on installing the new lights during the school hours, which lead to students having to stare at middle-aged hairy spick cheeks whilst they pass the maintenance ladders. A few of them have apparently made suggestive comments to female students, saying that they had nice ankles or some shit. School board decides on forbidding workers from operating during school hours. This is where it gets way worse. The workers didn't feel like having to pack up their shit and then placing it back every day, so they left the ladders unattended during the day. Logan escapes his tard guard and starts running through the halls screaming like a banshee. He makes his way to one of the ladders and climbs into the ceiling. He starts crawling around up there. Tard guard was too dumb to put 2 and 2 together and continued searching for him on the ground. Fast forward about 5 minutes. The bell rings and students start to fill the hallways. Logan was right on top of the bell, and it triggered a Vietnam flashback when it rang. He did his signature ring crawl at Mach 2, which caused the unsecured lights to fall from their holders and land on the poor bastards below. While the teachers were busy trying to calm down the panicking students and taking the ones who got crunk by falling light fixtures to the nurse. Suddenly, an audible thunk is heard, and Logan falls from the ceiling and nearly lands on a substitute teacher. Logan had a large mark on his head, which turned out to be a second-degree burn. He collided face first into a hot water pipe. The crying Logan is carried away like a fallen angel by his tard guards, while saying things like, "Oh, don't worry, Logan, it wasn't your fault," and other libfag bullshit. My friend witnessed this. Logan's mother tried to sue the school. When she was denied, she withdrew him from the school and they ended up moving away. Story 2. Nate the retard takes a golden shower. Be me. 17 in high school, average kid. Nothing too special about me. That all changed when my friends and I met Nate. He's a scrawny ginger fuck with freckles and a nose that would make Squidward jealous. He has a crush on one of the cheerleader sluts that shows up in every 80s movie. He's convinced himself that they are dating, and gets pissed whenever someone else mentions her. This ultimately leads to keks for everyone in a 20-mile radius. Anyone unfortunate enough to be caught within the chromosome blast is pulverized by instant downiness. Same year, phys ed classroom. In locker room, chillin' like a motherfucker. Nate walks in, his wild tard musk overpowers all of our nostrils. Suddenly, the white equivalent to Terry Crews appears.
"Hey faggot, you smell like my ass. Did you just get back from rolling in your own shit?" "Hey, shut your mouth, Gabo, I'm hurt you bad." "Oh wow, I'm so scared. What are you gonna do, you dickwit?"
He shoves Nate. He has rattled the cage.
"I slept with cheerleader's name before you even knew her."
Tard rage intensifies. Nate lets out a ree and fucking tackles him. He starts throwing punches, and one of the jock kid's friends tries to pull Nate off. Nate fucking bites him in the dick and continues wailing on Sporticus, who probably has a broken nose at this point. Pussy fag runs out of the locker room to tell a teacher. Jock Kid 2 is bleeding through his shorts onto the ground, moaning in pain. Jock Kid shoves Nate off of him, and he runs into the shower area. Nate takes off after him while making tard noises. Friends and I follow him, making sure to stay a safe distance from the carnage. Suddenly, the sound of screams and what I thought was a shower start. Friends and I round the corner to see Nate, butt-ass naked, fucking pissing on the jock kid, who is cowering in the corner. He gives my friends and I a classic tard grin. Jock kid vomits and starts twitching. We're gonna need a bigger boat. Before Nate can do anything, the gym teacher and the fucking security guard catch up. Nate releases a scream that sounds like a hyena getting ass-fucked by the Empire State Building. Nate starts running, but trips on his own piss and falls to the ground. He has what looks like a stroke in his own piss, still making the hyena noise. School security officer just stares before speaking into his radio. We need a corrections assistant in the male locker room? About a minute later, 2 tard guards show up. One subdues the still seizing and piss-soaked Nate and drags him out of the room. The other escorts the traumatized kid off to the nurse's office. Nate is suspended for a week. The bitch special ed director used the innocent handicap who can't control himself excuse, so he wasn't expelled. Then rumors spread that the guy who got pissed on developed some form of PTSD and transferred schools. We were all given an A+ for that term in phys ed. Be me. In middle school, I move into a new school and I get my schedule, and a 7 out of 10 girl shows me around. After a couple of minutes, she takes me to my first period class. It's a handful of kids, about 12 or 15 of them. There were only 2 tards. OMFG.jpg. One of the tards is a high-functioning autist. We'll call him G. The other was a nigatard. We'll call him J. About 2 days later, I start to become friends with G. Most days, both of us would play video games on his Switch. But J, he was different. He was a bit taller than me. I'm fucking 4'7". There isn't a tard HQ in the fucking school. Oh no, .mp4. Have cool-ass teacher who is a manlet, but cool as fuck. Be friends with teacher and we would hang out most times at lunch. During lunch. Regular day until Jay is heard screeching from down the hallway. Oh boy. Me and chill teacher run to see what the commotion is. We see Jay on the ground, eating his own shit off of G's face. Me and the teacher book it. It's fucking chasing us. We manage to get into a classroom and lock the door. We see Jay smearing shit on the window. One of the teachers from outside sees this and decides to put manners into his own hands. Bad fucking idea.jpg. Jay fucking body slams the teacher and proceeds to pull his pants down. God. He teabags the teacher and shits on his face. My God. Me and cool teacher leave the damn school and go to Wendy's. We decide to eat while we're here. Chickenborgor.jpg. We then went home after